Hello, everybody. My name is Eugene. I'm working as a band leader on a cruise ship, and I'm about to post a nice little interview with a guitarist from my previous contract. We have finished a wonderful 4-month gig together, and it was his very first contract ever. So while it was still fresh and new, and I was trying to capture all his observation as a newcomer to the company, to this gig, so he can share some advices with you, with anybody who is thinking of getting this type of musical career. If you're interested in this type of videos, please let me know down below in the comments and subscribe to this channel. It's pretty new. I'm currently in the middle of another contract on a cruise ship and I'm ready to film something else. So let me know what you're interested in and I'll try to do that. Enjoy, guys.
Alright guys, hello everybody. This is my first interview. Juan, by the way, is a very talented guitarist from Argentina who has just finished his first contract. We've been working together for how many?
3 months and a half, probably.
3 months and a half. This is his first gig. He just lost his ship virginity right there. And while it's still fresh and he still remembers his feelings and experiences, I wanted to capture this for all of you guitarists and new coming musicians on board. So Juan here with his mate, traditionally of course. Is this the second, third per today, fourth?
First one, because I don't have so much, but
Yeah, by the way, we're really short in time, which is good for you. We're gonna make it tight because we're disembarking tomorrow and we have another one of our final sets today. So what I would like to start with, Juan, tell us a little bit about yourself, about your background, how you started playing music. How old were you? Because you have quite interesting story.
well, I'm 24 now. I started playing guitar from scratch when I was 13. It's a bit late for many musicians, right? But I mean, I think I always been musician because I always loved music, but never actually tried guitar until 13 and spent hours every day playing, like so far.
So you a self-made musician?
You can say, yeah, because I don't have like formal academy training, you know. I have only one teacher who taught me like music theory, harmony, and how to reach music. But mainly, yeah, I've been practicing on my own and trying to get music concepts right,
Nice.
along with records and videos.
So just I get it right. You started practicing the musical theory at the age of
16.
16 years. Oh.
That was the moment where I said, okay, I want to be a musician. I want to study. We have this teacher, this guy who is a very, very amazing guitar player in my hometown. He plays jazz guitar, and I wanted to be jazz musician because I started liking jazz.
So he inspired you to choose
Yeah.
this path in the music.
Yeah, so I started taking lessons with him. He was a little expensive lessons, so I begged my father, please, this guy is good, let me do it. Okay, but you're gonna learn sheet music and stuff. Yeah, of course.
But you're gonna be poor for your entire life.
Yeah.
Don't do this, son.
I didn't know, but the thing is, I'm raised in a family where it doesn't matter, you know, you should be doctor or lawyer. It doesn't matter as long as you work and you put the effort and the mind into what you're doing, you're gonna do well. I mean, that's my mindset and my parents' mindset at least. So, I mean, that's my training really. I mean, of course, I know how to read sheet music and harmony and stuff. Maybe not so academically, you know, like, but I did my study.
Nice. What about your musical background, work-wise? Did you play any gigs? Did you play in any bands?
I used to play gigs like sometimes solo guitar in restaurants, and sometimes just trio gigs, but like background music, you know, like we do here on the club, like
Yeah.
well, like this. They weren't like so steady gigs, so I used to do other things like playing cover bands, rock. I even used to play in a ska reggae band.
Oh, nice.
And that was my first introduction to like arranging horns and stuff. Like, I mean, I do like this because I'm not so good yet, but I'm trying.
Good stuff. When did you discover that there is an opportunity to work on cruise ships? How old were you?
I was like 20, 19. I didn't think it was like I was capable, but this other guy I know, he was also a teacher of mine. He's piano player. He told me, yeah, man, I do that shit all the time. You should do it. But he never really explained me how. He never even mentioned companies, agencies, nothing. I just knew there was a possibility. Then I knew this other guy who just came back from a contract and not this company, Royal Caribbean. And he'd say, man, try this agency, try this. And he gave me a list. First audition I did, fuck, I sucked. But I sucked horrible because my sight reading is my problem, right?
Like for many musicians.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is, you have to be able to look at the chart and be able to perform whatever melody line it is. Especially when you're guitar player, sometimes you have lead lines. They are especially for guitar, you know, these distortion parts, and if you don't know it, you have to rely on the charts. And if you don't have that skill, I mean, it's gonna sound like shit.
Yeah. So you discovered about this gig, and now you're 24, 25?
24.
So it took you almost 4 years to pass the audition, or what was the story?
No, I auditioned first time at 22, 23 I was. And throughout that year, I just gave up on everything because I didn't have any more jobs. I used to have side jobs, you know, as like bartending, mostly bartender. And I just quit my job. And my parents were like angry. Because how are you going to support yourself? No, I'm going to practice sight reading. So throughout the whole year, because my first audition was so bad, and the guy who made the audition was really nice. He gave me feedback, a specific feedback on what to work on. And but I felt so terrible, and I said, okay, I'm going to do it. And then I tried one second audition. It was worse. The guy was not as nice, and he just said, hey, let me stop you right there. Man, you need to practice sight reading because this is not going to cut it for the job. And I felt even worse. And so when I felt before going down a depression spiral, I just started practicing. And like every day, I didn't even hang out with my friends. I just started every day, like first 1 hour, then 2 hours, then 3 hours of grabbing every music I had. And I found this great software. Anyway.
I'm going to cut this, don't worry about it.
Oh, okay. I'll speak now.
Yeah, sorry. You may hear some noise because we're backstage and they're just adjusting something in the Grand Salon, which is the theater for us. Anyway.
Well, I found this great software called Sight Reading Factory. You pay like a yearly subscription, and it's basically just you press like a button and shows you like a random music chart, like melodies, you know, for every instrument. And you can choose the difficulty levels. So I started practicing that every day, and I realized that it helped me really a lot with the sight reading, because normally when you practice sight reading, you have to have always new material.
Yeah.
So that helped me with understanding where the notes are and the rhythm, and already seeing the chart and the rhythm and the notes already on the fretboard, and that helped me a lot. So I've been doing that for almost a year until I passed one audition with Suman here, and they brought me here. I mean, that's my story. I mean, I barely passed. I think I didn't pass. And knowing that, I was more chill, you know. And I say, hey man, can you at least give me some feedback? I mean, and he's like, yeah man, that was great. And then I'll keep you in mind for a contract. And I was like, what? And I just kept it cool, you know, like okay, and end the video call and the audition, and I was like, what? And it was for real. So I mean, to me, it's actually very, very nice job. I'm very happy to be here because I can actually play music for a living, and that is a privilege, you know.
Yeah, I agree.
Especially when you come from a not so privileged country where the economy is not so good. I mean, if economy is not so good, musicians are even worse, because I mean, music normally it takes investment. You need people, you need good venues, you know.
Yeah.
And fancy people like musicians, and when economy is wrong, no fancy people to pay for musicians.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. We really rely on a good economical situation in the country.
Yeah, and
get paid for
normally
gigs.
also a music scene. For example, I am not from Buenos Aires, which is like the main capital of Argentina, and you have plenty of musicians, and you have a bigger scene where you can work. But I didn't have so much stability economically to be able to pay rent in Buenos Aires, especially on Argentina money. So I just practice and rely on I'm gonna get a gig outside because I can speak English. I'm capable, and I believe in myself, and that's it.
Nice. He just brought me to another question that I was about to ask you. For some of our fellow musicians, that will be a difficult moment. I mean, the English, the language barrier. Where and when did you study your English?
Well, this is different because I was forced to study English by my parents because they thought it was useful for life to know English. I hated, but they were right.
They were right.
So I started as a kid already. I was 8 years old taking lessons, but forced. I have to be good in English in school if I wanted to go outside and play, basically. And I started speaking English around 12, 11 already. I could understand without any problems. My accent, of course, is a bit funny, but I don't care in working in that too much. I mean, as long as I'm understood and speak properly, that's it.
That's right.
But I see people here, like officers, top of the level, with not so good English. So, I mean, it's not to be so worried about it. As long as you're understood and you understand the commands or certain directions people give you, that's it. Especially if it's your work-related area, like the language of music, if you understand when is the chorus, when kick, or the parts of your instrument or charts in English, that's it. I mean, because some of our bandmates, I'm not going to say names, they have a pretty questionable English too, but we understand each other perfectly.
I would say it's just right enough to pass the audition and to get the job. Anyway, jokes aside, tell me please, let's get back to the moment before you came to your first contract. Just try to remember the questions which you had on your mind.
Well, first questions I had was like about, I thought that my gear was not going to work, So I was thinking about buying gear like ampless, no amplifier gear, So I bought this amplifier simulation stuff, and then other pedals, like to have some distortion, chorus and stuff, for guitar. Main sounds, FX for guitars. And I brought that, so that's what my first question, which I asked you before.
Yeah.
And now my other questions, not questions, things I didn't know. I didn't really know what to expect. I just know that I was gonna play charts. What I didn't know is it's gonna be at this level, like every day, doesn't matter. I mean, like just go on stage and have your iPad with the charts and the lists and just play whatever is there, and that's it. That I didn't know. And I mean, it's good that you know beforehand, because I mean, at least you're mentally prepared, because when the time I came, it was Sunday, we have this ABBA set.
Yeah.
It was the first time everything. So I came back, I come to the stage like 10, 15 minutes before, and I just have to connect my pedals like as fast as I can, then check the amplifier, check the settings on the amplifier, and then with the sun on my face, and then with hot as hell and the iPad. And then sometimes the iPad doesn't work properly, sometimes you have to touch it a couple of times, and I was seeing it, and I see the charts, and of course I play whatever.
You just had to go through this first.
One thing is that I realized is that you have to rely on your ears as much as the charts. I mean, it's very important as well. That to sound proper, Of course you can play charts, but you have to have the taste and the understanding of how to actually blend in with the information provided in the charts, because the charts give you the rhythm, the kicks, the form, and that's it, and some melody line, but it doesn't tell you how to play or how to play that chord. You can have as guitarists, we can have a lots of charts only with chords like D minor 7, G7, C major, and you as guitarist, like, okay, D minor 7, I know I do it like this, but you do it like this, and the pianist is already doing another type of D minor 7, and it may clash. It may not sound good. So you have to realize and listen to what the other guys are doing and try to blend in with, of course, with the information of the chart. And then one other thing that is very important when reading to me is like being careful about the repeat signs, the senios and the codas, which is I suffered with that. I like understanding when because sometimes it's too small, the DS, and then you have a small senio sign in the middle of the chart, which is like sometimes it's a small chart with huge amounts of bars and you don't find.
Yeah.
And it's really easy to get lost in these charts. So, I mean, nothing can really prepare you for that unless you have already some experience reading charts. I didn't have. Mm-hmm. So to me, this was like amazing experience, because I could actually learn the real job, which is actually just you come and you're already on stage and play doesn't matter. Yeah. Just play. And then probably the band leader, it was you in that case, who was very nice and told me, man, can you check out these parts or these? Or, I was like, okay, man, can you send me, for example, production shows? Uh-huh. Production shows, there, you have to rely on the charts like 80%, I would say 100% charts, because it's all tracked shows. Mm-hmm. And there are certain parts you have to play and there are parts you don't play. So in the parts you don't play, you have to count the bars and come in correctly. First production shows I played, man, I couldn't even count 10 bars, because I was counting and it passed. I missed 1 or 2 bars and already come like this, and then you look at me like,
no,
that's wrong. One thing, I like to do is at least try to hear it. If I can be provided with the tracks, I can listen to the tracks. I can have some sort of idea. And even when the songs you play, like in the club or normal sets, it's better if you already know it, if you have some idea of the song, because normally the charts are a bit weird also. Sometimes it can be wrong. The form even can be wrong, and the melody can be wrong. So you have to rely on your ears, and better if you know the song. Better if you listen to, you make yourself a playlist of the 300 top party songs, wedding songs, ABBA, musicals, and just listen and get to know it. And then when you come and see the chart, of course, you're going to have to sight read it, but you already have an idea of how it goes. It doesn't take you by surprise, because some forms are strange. We in our heads are like used to the 4-bar form, Yes. 4, 4, 4, 4, 2, 4. Sometimes you have 6 bars, there are 3 and 3, and the melody resolves like this, and so it's weird. Sometimes you have an extra 2/4 bar around, you have a 5/4 bar just with 1 kick extra. Yeah. And if I could give any advice to a guitar player, mainly because we guitar players suck at sight reading. We're almost not musicians of how much we suck.
There's another level of jokes. We do not mean to offend any.
No, please.
Any emotional guitarists out there, okay?
I'm a guitar player, and I understand, and also, have a nice sound, have a nice groove, and just don't be like too crazy about trying to show yourself. Just be part of the band, be part of the rhythm section, and enjoy. That was to me like the best experience, to be able to play with these musicians who are way more experienced than me, and also very nice persons to show me how to do the job, and that's it.
I'd like to ask you about the gear that you brought with you. Let's just speak through.
What was the problem with my gear? So, if any guitar is watching, I had this pedal called the Strymon Iridium, which is an amplifier simulator, which is very good. The thing is, my problem was the power supplies. I didn't know which kind of power supply I needed, and the ship has different sort of plugs. I don't know where your viewers are from, maybe from around the world, so it's better if you always have a nice power supply that can go from 110 to 220 and you can plug it anywhere. And then in case you don't have a plug, I mean, you can find it on the ship or maybe in some port. I mean, but have a nice power supply that doesn't make noise. And also nice cables to prevent every sort of ground noise or electricity noise. And about the gear, I mean, with digital processor, let's say some Line 6 POD Go or the HX Stomp or whatever processor you have is more than okay. Because you have the amplifiers here and you have sometimes straight to the PA, and sometimes it's more comfortable to go straight to the PA with this digital processor, and you have some good in-ears to have nice monitoring. And that's it. And then you can control it yourself and just... But for guitarists, I mean, digital processor. I mean, if you bring pedals, I don't know. I wouldn't do it because it's a bit impractical, you know. You're always running from here to there. Sometimes, I mean, you have to go outside by the pool to play. Some people jump into the water. The water might come near your gear. You have expensive pedals. And then you have to understand that sometimes you don't have time to set up quickly. You have to come into the stage and set up as quick as you can. And... So it's better to have something practical and small. I mean, if I could have something this small that had everything and I could just set it up and have any time, like every sort of sound, I would. Now, for example, my gear I'm planning to do is using this processor called HX Effects, which is only effects, plus the Strymon Iridium and with a nice power supply. So you can bring it like in a little suitcase and plus the guitar, and that's it. And you have like an ampless rig where you can go anywhere in the world and just play straight to the PA. And if you need to play from an amplifier, just turn off the Strymon and play with the effects. And that's basically for guitarists. And another thing is like to, focus on groove and timing. That is very important. I mean, it's more important to play good and to read charts. That is like the most difficult thing for me. To read proper charts, especially when you have notes that are already off the, how do you call this, system? I don't know how to say this, the staff, the 5 lines, notes outside the five lines of the sheets.
You mean like the other one, the key, key lines?
Yeah, the key, exactly. Oh. I'm sorry, some words I don't know. And when you have notes like this that sometimes are higher up in the guitar, is difficult because normally in guitar you have several positions. So you learn some positions here and like in F, G, whatever, and you can sight read it and it's easy. But sometimes then you have a jump of a fifth or an octave then goes up, and the sheets cannot show you that. Because in the piano, C, middle C is middle C. In guitar, middle C is here, 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 here. You know, so you can have middle C go into C7, you know, like up, and so you have to be ready for that. Especially if you, but it's practice. It's just practice. I used the Sight Reading Factory subscription, and it really helped me when I didn't know anything. And then I just started going through books of jazz solos or transcriptions or Bach, for example, just sight read an entire Bach, because Bach is long. But the thing is, and then you start seeing sequences and patterns. And to me, it's like I try to associate the figure, the way it looks, with the way it sounds. You know, especially all the 16 notes patterns. Because to me, it's like really difficult when I see 16 notes and I see like this, the stuff like this, and with silence in the middle, I'm like scared already. So my brain automatically goes, okay, let's improvise this part.
Yeah, we had many conversations with Juan about the classical music and especially about Bach. He loves Bach.
I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fan of Bach.
To say huge fan, it's to say nothing. I'd like to bring you back to the gear question one more time. Sorry
tell me.
about that.
No.
Because maybe some of our watchers, viewers,
Are interested.
maybe some of our viewers would be interested in what guitar did you have with you on board. Do you need a fancy guitar to start this gig?
No, not at all. Look, I have my guitar. It's a $100 guitar from China that my uncle bought me when I was 14. I didn't have more money to buy a guitar, so that's why I came to work here to buy a new guitar. So I did some upgrades, like the bridge, changed the pickups, put a graphite nut to tune it better, put some nice strings. I did investments. All those, the pickup is more expensive than the guitar itself, basically, but it helped me and it sounded good. It's a Les Paul shape. So it's generic brand. It's one of those combos guitars you buy it, for kids. And it worked perfectly. The thing is, I struggle all the time with the tuning stability because, I play one show, I would do one bend, and it's already out of tune. And it drives me crazy. So I had to change strings throughout this contract like 6 times, I'd say almost 7 times. Because new strings can last me for a week tuning properly. Then it started to get out of tune, and not because it's not properly scaled. It is properly scaled, but the guitar is already built wrong, and it has you have the neck, and the neck instead of being straight, this part is a little higher. So you have to be professional scaling that guitar in order to make it tune. So as this guitar tech guy in my hometown is very good and did this job, so the guitar works. But you need a guitar that has tuning stability, that doesn't make noise. The first thing you should worry about is exactly that. It doesn't have fret buzz, all the frets working properly. The guitar tunes nice. How do you call them? I don't know. The tuners. I'm sorry again. The tuners have to work nice too, because one of my tuners broke here, and I had to unscrew it and fix it. And I was desperate because it's my only guitar. So, you have to realize that you're gonna play here every day, and the guitar needs to be up to the task. It's gonna be cold inside because of the air conditioning, then you're gonna go outside with the sun, so you have to take it in a case so the guitar doesn't go in the hot weather instantly, and then also have some nice string cleaners, to clean the strings, because it can last a bit longer. Clean the strings after every show with a cloth, and that nice cables too, so it doesn't make any noise. One of the, if you can do with your guitar, is isolate, even if it has humbuckers, the double coil pickups, for people who are not guitarists.
I don't, but please tell us more.
Well, this supposedly these humbucker pickups are designed to cancel the hum of the pickups. That's why the name. But sometimes that guitar can make noise because sometimes the electronics are weird, sometimes the cabling is the wiring is wrong. So you have to check all that. And if you can isolate with aluminum, like Faraday cage, the entire guitar, even better. My guitar, $100, but it doesn't make noise. It has a decent jack. It has a decent volume pots. It doesn't make noise because I'm a noise freak. I don't like noise. And I always have a ground noise because I had to change and use the ship's processor, the Line 6. Luckily, the ship has this Line 6 with a shitty power supply. Thankfully, it is good device, so it doesn't make too much noise, but it still has this ground noise. So power supply and good cables is crucial. And the guitar, it doesn't have to be expensive guitar. If it's like medium guitar, like $500, you already can have a nice gear to work the ship. Even better than okay. Now, if you have like a more expensive guitar, it's gonna work okay. But I will feel a little weird, I just bought a Telecaster guitar for American one, so you can imagine the price. To bring here, so but it's because I like it. You know, I need to feel good with the instrument and comfortable, which is the most important. So about gear, you have any other questions?
About the gear. Is there a difference in the gear between the venues that we have to play? I will just specify. So we have a Grand Salon, is the theater where we perform the production shows and where we comping the shows for the guest entertainers. We have Pool Deck where we play in the parties, where we play some sail away events. We have a club venue where we perform mainly the dance music for our guests, sometimes sort of ballroom stuff. And we have Observation Bar, which is the venue, the bar, it says for itself, where we perform the tea time set sometimes. It's either the piano player or the guitarist. So
About
the difference.
about the places, the gear doesn't change, but the sound of your guitar will have to change. Because, I mean, you have some different styles of songs, all kinds of songs. It doesn't matter your background, you will have to play and adapt to each style. We have the Motown, we have more funk stuff, we have disco, we have rock, heavy rock, AC/DC, we have ballads, and every one of these styles requires a different sound, you know. Sometimes you have a small guitar part, famous, that has delay, you know. You cannot play it without the delay. Sometimes you have some 80s stuff with a guitar line and it has chorus, you know, you have to have the chorus, or you have to have different types of distortion. Like, for example, some songs require you to play some arpeggios with overdrive, with a small overdrive. Even in the sheet it specifies. Put 170 millisecond delay here. Or put, I have that specific. Play this with chorus, cancel chorus. Play this with overdrive, cancel overdrive, and play clean. Or play, I don't know, it says a very busy funk group. If you have to play like, let's say Nile Rodgers stuff, like Chic or Le Freak, that song, which is a very busy funk rhythm, you need to have like a nice compression so it doesn't sound like all these noises, because you have to hit the guitar hard. Or same when you're playing like Guns N' Roses. You need a sort of heavier distortion than an overdrive. And that is, something that I'm learning, because I like to play jazz. And normally I just play straight to the amplifier or even the PA, you know, and with my guitar, and that's it. And to me it sounds kind of good. I'm just kidding, I love two amplifiers. But I like to go straight to the amplifier. I don't like to use so much effects because I don't have the need. But here, yeah, you do have. And it's very important that you have a nice sound and understanding of how to use these effects musically. Because us guitarists love to buy pedals. We love to buy gears. I have a lot of pedals that I bought that I never use.
Beautiful.
Why? Because I just like seeing it and playing it one time and just have fun. You know, and but it's not practical at all, and it's expensive.
Yeah.
So you have to learn how. Each pedal is like a different timbre for your guitar, especially distortion, which changes the timbre of the guitar completely. It makes it almost a different instrument, because when you play with distortion, you already have to play different, be more mindful about the notes you're not playing, because you can have extra noise, and. So that's something to think about, you know, like, or even the way you set the effects. Let's say you need to play something with delay, you have to set it correctly, but there's also another problem. You don't have all the time to do this unless you spend it on your own, and you have to have something pre-made already that works for everything, because you have to realize that in context, everything goes like this. You know, we're having a party in the club, lots of people, and the band leader is already crazy calling tunes. Just like in the middle of the tune, he will show you the iPad with the number of the next music, and you don't have time to set this
Delay.
You just have to do it quickly. You know, that thick already distortion and the right type of distortion, the right type of sound, and then it's all about what you feel like, because some songs don't specify. You have to. That is the part of your artistic part, what you bring to the band and what you bring with your sound, which is also how you play, which is very, very important. The way you play, the way you feel music, and of course it's gonna change the way the band sounds as well. Because I mean, I always used to hate guitar players, being myself a guitar player, because I feel that many of us are just too focused on the gear and having some nice stuff, but then not playing correctly. And basically that's it.
Not contributing to the music.
Yeah, you have to, especially when you have a pianist, because pianists, they have the entire registry of everything.
We do.
So, I mean, he would play a voicing and it's too full already. So you have, I mean, you can comp, but you have to be like mindful of your comp, because I mean, sometimes it's gonna clash. And you don't know if he, for example, it says D7 on the chart, and he would like to play D7, flat 9, flat 13,
I love
do it altered, and you play D7 9, natural 9. You play D7 like that, and it's gonna sound bad. It's gonna clash, and you're gonna look like who fucked up.
Spoil the air.
Yeah. So it happened to me a lot of times. Sometimes it even happened that I played the chart right for once, for a change, and the guys look at me like, "What is this?" Because some charts are weird, some charts are wrong. So it's better to know all the songs. All the songs you're gonna play here are main pop songs, for the people to dance, main ballads, top Billboard stuff, you know. So you have to know it, and it's impossible to know it beforehand. It's nice to know this. To me, at least, I would have liked to have some guy tell me this stuff.
Study these songs. Yeah.
Do this, do that. I mean, I asked some guitarists before about the cruise ships. He worked in this company even, in another ship, and he just told me about gear, told me about pedal boards, and I was like, okay, thank you, you know. Thinking, okay, I'm ready. No, what's not. He never mentioned about how it really is. So, but it's nice experience. It's amazing experience. The first few nights of my contract, I didn't sleep because I was practicing production shows. I mean, just to have it in my mind, because I cannot. I don't think any musician. I mean, doesn't matter how good you are, you can sight read an entire show without never playing it in your life. I mean, you have to at least a couple of times give it some time to the sheets, even look at the parts. You know, you have to spend some time before. I mean, unless you're way too virtuoso, at least for me. And I had to spend. Remember, I had rehearsal. We finish at 12:30. We finish. We have rehearsal at 9. New show. I had to spend the entire night learning the show, because there was the head people, the CEO of the production company of the show. She was looking at our show because we were installing the shows, and she actually cared about music, because I play one chord wrong and she looked at me like, you know, like this, and I was afraid because they told me she had fired musicians before because they play wrong. I mean,
that's true. We know there was occasions.
So yeah, I spent the whole night like this with the mat here in this exact place, just looking at the charts and playing with the tracks and listening to the tracks and listening to the songs. Because most production shows, I mean, here at least, this is my only contract. I don't have anything else to compare. But there are medleys of popular songs, and they take like a tiny bit of the song and mix it with another, and you have some odd bars here and there. And that's it. But if you already know the main parts of the songs, you'll never forget it. I mean, at least I already have it all in my mind, so it's no problem to me to play now the shows.
That's good. That brings me to another question. You partially answered it already. But is there a chance to practice? Is there a place to practice?
Yeah, I mean,
and
here
where did you do that?
We have here the backstage, which sometimes, I mean, people go by, or sometimes you have shows in the Grand Salon, so you have to be quiet. I had problems before because I was playing with the amplifier during a magician show, and this magician came angry. It's like, oh, you're so disrespectful. It didn't even heard on stage. It wasn't heard on stage, but I mean, she was like this. Either way, she was kind of right. I mean, it's backstage and it's her show. I should not be making any noise. You can practice in your cabin if your cabin partner doesn't mind. I mean, at least for guitar, it's easier because you can carry the instrument all around, and if you find a quiet place, you can do it. Mainly for me, it's here backstage or even where all the gear is. I just sit there and practice. Most times with my guitar unplugged. And other times when there's no shows or nothing, I use the amplifier at a reasonable volume, of course. And you have to manage the time because mainly you start in the afternoon. Mm-hmm. So I used to wake up every day in this contract at least 2 o'clock in the afternoon to start the day. And if you wake up early, you can seize the day, even go outside, you get to know the porch, which is very beautiful, and then practice. I mean, mm-hmm. You have to do it. I mean, at least for me, it's an absolute necessity. If I don't practice, it's like I cannot play properly. I need to do it to gain new knowledge and to not lose what I have. So it's insanely crucial. But yeah, you have time. If you manage correctly, you always have some time. I've seen some musicians here who don't like to practice much because they believe they already practice in their heads. But when they play, you can see that it's not the case. You know, practice is always needed. Always, never neglect practice. I mean, even have some clear goal and do it like 20 minutes a day. It doesn't matter. If you let's say you're practicing, I don't know, pentatonics with distortion or whatever, or some sort of dynamics. 15 minutes every day you do it, but focus on that. It's already something, you know. But it's also, managing the time. I would suggest that, you practice because then when you're at sea, you have some days you are off. You don't have much things to do. Mm-hmm. And it's better to just spend this time in a productive way, learning your instrument or doing something else instead of just, I don't know, drinking or sleeping, you know.
Yeah, that's true. That's some important topic to touch. Some musicians are experiencing problems with too much free time because I would say that normally we work in up to 6, maximum 7 hours a day, sometimes less than that, sometimes it's 4 or 5, depends on the daily program. And some of us have nothing to be interested in life, so they choose another way of spending their time.
Yeah, I mean, this is my first contract. But I already see that some guys, feel like this sort of burnout, mm-hmm. and they just come here to get money and that's it. And they don't worry about their craft too much already because I don't think they think much of themselves already, or they're just giving up. And sometimes music is really, really stressful. And most of the times, I mean, you have an existential crisis where you wonder, man, why am I doing this? I'm not, or you look at video of some professional, I don't know, Nate Smith guy playing drums, and you're a drummer, and you'll be like, man, I'll never be like this. But in my head, I think, no, I don't have to be like this. I have to be myself, and I do this because I love music. And you have to remind yourself that you love music by sometimes staying off a little bit and just listening to something you like, or just if you play your instrument, actually play with your instrument. Mm-hmm. Sometimes one of the things I do before I practice is just play around with the guitar, I have some drum tracks on my phone, I put some backing tracks on different music that I never play, just to remind myself that I like music, that I like playing guitar, and I just try to enjoy this little moment. Mm-hmm. Before actually going to my main goal, which is to practice something specific. But the thing is, you do this, you practice to get the music out of you naturally, so you can take out of yourself some beautiful music naturally, because music is like a language that you speak, and everybody has a way of speaking. For example, you have a more classical background. So you have a different way of thinking music than myself. And you practice in order to, when you compose something, when you play, when you solo, whatever, when you do this part of creative, to just get it out naturally. So in order to you have beautiful music naturally out of you, you need to practice a lot. Yeah. But it's not something bad, but I think myself this way because I see the people I admire, I see them doing the same thing. I see them always looking for something new to do, looking for something different to work on their instrument, or even not on your instrument. Maybe you want to be a arranger, maybe you like to compose, maybe you like to make videos, and it makes you enthusiastic and gives you a new target, something to work on. And these musicians that I see that are already burned out is because I think they don't believe much of themselves or I don't know what. But you have to have something, At least for me, I'm a very obsessive person with what I do and with everything, and I need to be busy. If I'm not busy, what am I do? I'm gonna go to the crew mess, the crew dining, and start eating like crazy. Maybe start drinking, maybe take up some bad habits. So you have to be busy because you have free time. You can sleep all day, but you can also wake up and I don't know, go outside, play some music. But most important, remind yourself that this is good, that this is beautiful. Because even I feel sometimes burnout. And when I feel burnout, I just lay off a bit, silence. And then come back fresh again, and that's it. Because when you're a musician, you're already like cursed. You just are. I mean, now our parents don't force us this, No one forces you to become a musician. You just do it because you like it. But it's like any other job. I mean, passion is a lie. There's no such thing as passion. Every day is work. You have to practice. It's not like I feel, I love this. No. I just work on it every day. So we have some tiny moments when we're playing where I just feel this deep connection with music. But it's just tiny moment, That's it. But those tiny moments worth all the effort I do. And just remind myself of this because everyday life is boring. And especially in the cruise ship. I mean, every day is the same. I don't know what day it is. I only know because we sign off tomorrow. I know that today is Saturday, but mainly I don't know what day it is. Every day is the same, absolute same. Same hours, same everything, same conversations, same people. You can go crazy, or you can just be busy like me.
Yeah, that's true. All right. I also wanted to ask you a little bit about the music that you are playing during the tea time sets. I've mentioned before that we have this observation bar, and we have a rotation where every day or every second day there is one musician performing. So when Juan is playing the tea times, he plays what?
Well, first I like to approach some standards solo, like chord melody. Let's say I don't know, play standards that I know and just start developing some sort of idea. Mainly sometimes rubato playing and then some solo like without comping. And I try to make always the harmonies ring throughout the lines. Like when I play, let's say you play Autumn Leaves, you can play the melody and you can add some nice chords, some different stuff. It's like a nice time for you to explore some concepts and be able to keep the music flowing for the people who are there and your background. Most people don't care, but some guests do. Yesterday I have some guy that clapped me after every song I finished and I was like, okay, I have to play good, So what do you do is like approach this chord melody style for guitar, because in piano you already have a left hand. Here you have only one, and you have to be able to divide the guitar into the bass part, the chord part, and the melody part. So normally it's like You know, this finger always is like melody part, and this two is like holding the chord, or this three maybe holding the chord. So I will be like doing this chord with this melody line on top, and then completing the melody until the next chord, and doing like this. But not all the time, because sometimes I just play lines. Like I start doing like this Bach approach, which he just started playing lines, like outlining these chords without actually playing the chords. You know, he doesn't play C major 7. He just does the line around the C major 7, so you know it is C major 7. And also contrast, because you can play chord melody, you can know every standard and play chord melody, but to the people it's gonna sound the same. You have to remember that the guitar is a bit hard to play solo, and it can be a bit how do you say, you don't have much something covering you. It's like you're by yourself and that's it, and it can be a bit awkward, you know. So you have to find a way of contrast the playing, and sometimes have a more piano approach to the stuff, you know, because jazz pianists, when they play, they comp themselves with the left hand. They play some voicing here and they play the line, and sometimes the voicing goes with the rhythm of what they're playing in the right hand. Kidding. Okay, you ready?
He said, "Fuck you, smelly goats."
Anyway, it's okay.
All right. So a little secret, I would say, a little surprise encounter just brought me to another question.
Yeah.
So you came on board, and you discovered yourself in a massive blend of different nationalities and cultures and everything. And also, we didn't mention that. Some of you may know already that when we live on board, we share the cabin with somebody. So you don't live in a little room by yourself. There are two of you. Let's
nice
just
topic.
briefly touch it.
Well, you have to practice patience and the human quality. You know, you have to be a good person. You have to. It doesn't matter if you're like nice or funny. I mean, you can be like have like face like this all day, but as long as you don't give anyone a hard time, as long as you're not disrespectful, as long as you respect the space of the other people, we're good. Sometimes I feel that many people fail to do that because, for example, we share cabin. Sometimes I want silence. Sometimes I don't. I just don't want to talk. And my cabin mate is not in that mood. Sometimes they drink. They're in a party mood. They come and they talk to you, and then you're like, I don't want to, and they bothering you, and I don't want to be angry. I don't, because I know that we have to see each other every day. We have to keep working. So you cannot be angry and start like, hey man, you have to put your boundaries, set your boundaries, but try to do it as respectfully as you can and be patient with the other people. But also you have to like not bother them, you know. Be respectful as you can to the other person. And because if you are first respectful and good person, you can expect the same from the others. You know, then you cannot be demanding to be a good person if you're already like someone disrespectful. Yeah. You know, so it's very important. This is the most important part. I talked about music, sight reading, everything, but even if you are not a good sight reader, even if you're not a good player, you barely can make it. You cut through for this gig. People are gonna prefer you if you're a nice guy, if you're easygoing, if you have a nice view on life, you know, and everybody are respectful. We are from different backgrounds, different cultures, you know, and we have to find a way of talking with each other, communicating, but without being disrespectful and bad persons, basically. Mm-hmm. Some people are nicer than others. Some people are more are funnier. You can easygoing. Some people are not. But if you're not, let's say you're not so sociable, you don't like to speak to so many people, you're very introvert. In that case, as long as you are nice and respectful, that's okay. in my case, I am not sociable, but I'm an extrovert person. You know, I don't have problems in talking with anybody. I speak a lot, as you see in this video. I've been speaking like a lot because I love speaking about music and about this stuff. It's very interesting to me, and I hope to you as well. But yeah, be a good person, be respectful, and don't try to, if you like, for example, to drink. Many people in the ship like to drink, and they still are functional to their work. It's not means they're alcoholics. I don't know. But if you ever drink more, you have to understand you live with somebody. Don't bother that person. You know, respect their space, because you are sharing a space, and that's it.
Yeah, and if something doesn't work out, you can always talk to your supervisor, explain the problem, you will work it out. And the next step is going to the HR, which is Human Resources Manager, and sort out any conflict situation with them.
That is like last resource. I wouldn't want to do that. Yeah. For example, I have a very nice experience with my cabin mate. We had some disagreements, but we can work it out. He's open to communication, so am I, so that's okay. And but yeah, basically understand people, and mainly you get to know this person, this stranger you're gonna live with for a couple of months and see every day, and probably you will have the same schedule because normally they put musicians together, so you're gonna see all the time. You have to try to be friends, you know. You have to try to be friends and respect each other's differences and be open-minded. Be open-minded meaning that you have to understand that some people have different cultures and some people have different political and religion views. And sometimes you are in a private space, they like to speak their minds. And if you don't agree with that, you have to also be respectful and expect the same from the other person. You know, some people, we have different religions, different political views, different political situations, which is sensitive subjects that we have to be careful. If possible, avoid. Yeah. But some people do not avoid it, and they speak anyway. So when they speak, I suggest you to be wise and just avoid the subject and like, yeah, it's okay, and just keep your mind, and that's it. And if it becomes, too unbearable, HR, and that's it.
All right, I think we have to go to prepare ourselves for the gig. So Juan, thank you so much.
No, thank you so much for this interview. It's been a pleasure as well.
I will try to I'll say it again. I will try to make this interview available for as many musicians who are looking for this job. If you have any questions, please write below in the comment section. I'll try to respond to them. And would you mind if I will share your Instagram or something?
No, not at all. Please do.
And also, I'm trying to convince this young man to start posting some of his performances because he's outstanding, but he still has too much shy in him.
I'm a very shy person.
So I will share definitely something that I filmed, so you'll see him a lot in my videos coming soon. But also, I'm hoping that you will.
Man, it's been a great pleasure, and it's been a great experience working with all these people. I come from a very small town in Argentina, a small city where you don't have this. And just being able to interact with other musicians, being able to be there and to work, and it's a beautiful experience. I don't know who is watching this. Is for your first time on a cruise, just do it. The only thing that is bad is sometimes being away from your friends and family if you miss them too much. But you always have you can make a phone call, you can make a video call and keep working. And then you have a pretty decent money and you get to know a lot of places, which I will otherwise never travel. Yeah. So, like, for example, we're in Greece. It's absolutely beautiful. I cannot believe it, you know. So that's it. And thank you so much for the interview.
Cheers, brother.